Alrighty, we apologize for some technical difficulties, but we are back up and in action, running here on the YouTube's live stream for today's matchup between the Great Lakes divisional opponents, and you could call rivals. Kalamazoo FC welcomes the Flint City Bucks, as this is the women's match. We got a double header for you guys today, as Kalamazoo FC taking on the defending 2023 Great Lakes divisional champions. And a big matchup today between two squads, as everybody right now in the USLW Great Lakes division chasing Detroit City FC, as they are currently on top 3-0 undefeated and leading the division, followed by AFC Ann Arbor and Midwest United close in second place. And then Flint City and Kalamazoo battling for third and fourth right now, both 2-2, as Kalamazoo has the lone tie as they sit 2-2-1. As we got everything back up and running now, we got through. Anybody's wondering who's where, as the starters for Flint City, here they are on your screen: Caldwell, Carter, and four up front. Middle fielders of Kalita, Chung, and Woods, and then the back line of Lauer, Canada, Galvin, and Rustin. Wiseman, Aspara in the net between the posts. We're getting here inside the 18 with Kalamazoo FC. We'll introduce their lineup after their attacking chance. Off the post it goes. What a saving effort from the backline defenders. Flint City going to keep this one right squared away at 0-0, or 0-0, they call it across the pond. As now the starting 11 for Kalamazoo FC: up front, Bearden, Amakri, Cunningham. The middle fielders of Corehorn, Canada, and Musig. And the back line of Stolfus, Ford, Gomez, Newcomb, and Wilberding in between the posts. Still possession now with Kalamazoo FC. They're going to elect to go left side of that 18 marker, and then bounced out of bounds last time. So they're going to launch this one inside the 18, testing Flint City's goalkeeper. However, Wiseman, Aspara not challenged enough. She's going to make the stop and set up possession here for Flint City. Big game here today for Kalamazoo FC. They're looking to put their season right back on track. Started off rough with a tie. However, back up and in action and trying to find their way back into the win column. So they would love to get this tough battle won here, as Newcomb going to rifle off a shot. That's going to be left up top, though. Well over the net. Nothing there to challenge Wiseman Esparza. Good luck, though, and really trying to test their range for early in this game is Kalamazoo FC. Wiseman Esparza going to send this one towards the middle of the field. Show off that leg, as Corehorn going to get a head underneath it. Try and bounce off a couple of defenders, giving chase those Corehorn, and deflected. Flint City, though, sticking with it, trying to create some openings. Their defensive side of the field into the back line, and out it goes. Cunningham and Amakri giving chase, putting that pressure on. It's one thing they're going to have to do, is keep the pressure up on that back line and try and get Flint City to mess up and make those mistakes and capitalize on top. It's really going to come down, honestly, to that same thing for both these teams. Back lines have to remain strong. That's going to be the biggest swings into this game. As last year here at Mayor's Riverfront Park, a 4-4 tie was the result between these two squads, as Samantha Woods netted 2 goals herself and made some easy work of this Eagle defense. She's trying to do the same today, but not getting many looks here early on in this first half. It's been all pressure applied by Kalamazoo so far here today. Consistency, though, in between the posts is what I'm seeing right now out of Karina Wiseman Esparza. She's going to send this one near the middle of the field, giving chase. A shot coming off, but what a boot save there by Kalamazoo's keeper, as that's going to be a crucial foot save. Still trying to get it out, though. It's Kalamazoo's defense after the save by Wilberding. So now it's going to go left side here for Kennedy Bearden. Bearden has a couple of ways she could go. She's going to give Music right side. Music going to find Cunningham in the middle. Esparza, though, getting to the ball first. Had an opportunity. And the quick wheels from Cunningham not going to pay off right there, but valiant effort nonetheless. Flint City trying to set something up, going middle of the field. Good defense played by Maddie Canada. Going to be Sammy Woods. And a takeaway here from Bearden. Bearden's going to feed into a Mockery. A Mockery challenging the 18. She's going to use that right foot. Send it up and over, though, by Esparza. Good use of the hands there from the goalkeeper in between the posts for the Bucks. As the shot right on net there from Akema Mockery. But an even better save there to keep this one tied 0-0. 16 minutes gone by. Nobody scoring yet, but the pressure from Kalamazoo FC certainly being applied here early on, first half of action. Canada going to send this one inside the 18, hitting a couple of bodies, almost finding somebody on the receiving end. So that one's going to be last touched by Mackenzie Ford. The chances are starting to pile up here for Kalamazoo early in this first half, just needing to find that capitalization point. Awaiting another corner kick here on a drizzly day in Kalamazoo. 17 minutes into this first matchup of two, a doubleheader between both clubs, men's and women's, for both these two teams. As the 2023 defending champs of the Great Lakes Division, both men's and women's, won by Flint City. Kalamazoo looking to take away some good things in this matchup on the women's side. And then Kalamazoo, the men's squad, looking to take that crown back they had 2 years in a row, only to lose it last year to Flint City. And I mean, that men's team had studs all over it. And a really good goalie in Dominic Noshimben led their way all the way into the USL playoffs. But the men's team looking to expose Flint City later here tonight. The women's squad trying to do it first, though. Kalamazoo's hunting 2 wins here. A ball fake and a shot going to ring off. But well over top it goes. Still a jumping effort there from Wiseman Esparza. If I had to guess, it's just going to be sent up and right towards the middle. Corhorn, first one touching it off the foot of Esparza. Stolfus now pushing left side. Defense going to pick her up, but she's going to slip around it. Left foot going to get swung on. And out of defense there from the Bucks. Off the corner kick, some confusion in the middle, but Kalamazoo going to get it out, give it back to Canada. Serves up a lob into the middle. Goalie taken out, a Mockery. The follow-up head, and that's going to be into the back of the net. Last touch by Akema Mockery, and a goal from the Toledo product. As that's going to be the first one scored in this matchup. Flint trails now early in this first half. As what a way to get out and ahead of the defending Great Lakes Division champs. Some conversation now between coaches and players, all huddled around that 18 marker for for Flint City, as they're trying to figure out which way they want to go about it and try and find their equalizer now. As the drizzly conditions continue to pour on It's not pouring, you could say. Just a slight drizzle. It's probably going to remain consistent between these two matches today. So the field here at Mayor's Riverfront Park definitely going to get well worn out at 9 o'clock tonight, as it could be left in rough shape after this one. A rainy day. I mean, everybody's going to be sliding a little bit more, chasing a little bit more. That ball's going to be skipping a lot more. Stolfus, left side, played back into Ford. Then around the horn it goes of that back line for Kalamazoo. Gomez, she's going to swing it up to Corhorn. Corhorn plays something down right side. This one into Kyla Newcomb. Newcomb still having yet to play any NCAA minutes. She's going to be an incoming freshman to Western Michigan. Cunningham going to get called offsides, though, as Amakri trying to feed it to her on that right side. However, Kyla Newcomb, like we were saying, not playing any minutes yet of Division I soccer, but she's playing against a lot of girls that have had those minutes, had those reps, and all that skill that she's going to be seeing here in this next coming fall. She's getting a display and a taste of it this season, but living up to all the pressure and expectations so far. Really, really good defender for Kalamazoo this season. Flint City going to slip up. Music with it. She's going to feed back to Bearden. Bearden going to get this one denied, and Flint City going to catch a lucky break. As now, here they go on the attack across midfield. Kalamazoo still with the numbers. It's going to be a 6-on-3 attack for Flint City. Slow pacing and going. Now they got something into the 18. The shot, though, well above the net. So that last one's going to be touched off the foot of Caldwell. And what a chance there for Flint City. Not too many of those early on in this matchup, but they're going to have a lot, I would think, of throughout today. It's going to be high pressure, high intensity, possibly high scoring. Like we said last year, 4-4 the final matchup here at Mayor's Riverfront Park between these two squads. And man, oh man, what a game that was. One of my favorite games of the year last year. As this one's going to be sent up and into the air, but Wilberding going to snatch that one straight out of the air and come down with it. As now that possession time going to just keep adding up here for Kalamazoo FC. So they're going to try and get something working here against this Buck defense. Back and forth between that back line. Now Gomez quickly pushing up that field. Looking to try and get something across the middle. She's looking for a Amakri. She's going to get it to her after a couple of bounces off a Buck defender. But then a swip up. And now Flint City trying to get it back on their offensive side. However, it's going to find that out of bounds marker first. Kalamazoo with a toss in. Here it comes off Stolfus. Stolfus looking to feed Corhorn in the middle of the field. However, the Bucks going to get ahead on it first. But Corhorn going to sneak her way in there, try and get a takeaway. However, Flint going to stick with it. And then the pass up the middle of the field. Good read there by Gomez to get it down left side. Bearden with it. Trying to see which way, using the right foot, feeding Amakri. Amakri to Musig. And a takeaway off a bad pass. Looking for Claudia Musig was Kalamazoo. And now somebody coming downfield for Flint. But a good read by Ava Wilberding to poke that one out. Coming out of the box, using the feet. But now a little bit of contact near the middle of the field, and we're going to draw a whistle in this matchup. Flint City, I mean, if they could have had a mess up between the communication for Kalamazoo, they could have found an equalizer quickly after the first goal. But luckily for Kalamazoo, Wilberding executed perfectly. Stolfus, you're going to get around Hallie Cunningham. However, a really good ball off the foot of Stolfus. Just nothing to capitalize from Cunningham there. Just left up a little too top, but still just what a look. 25 minutes gone by now in this matchup. Corner kick, that's just going to get quickly disposed of. And nothing brewing there off the corner from Kalamazoo FC. As we approach that 26-minute marker, 1-0's the score here. Kalamazoo FC leading the defending champions of the Great Lakes Division. As they're looking for a victory here, but still a long ways to go as we're just in the middle of this first half. And what a game it's been. Back and forth, good possessions from both teams. Kalamazoo just finding the one mistake from Flint City and really taking advantage of it. Music near the middle of the field. She's going to go left side to Stolfus. Stolfus just going to slow it back up, keep the ball here with Kalamazoo FC. Ford going to play it over to Gomez. Gomez now going to launch it up middle of the field, looking there for Corhorn. She's going to find Bailey. Bailey passes right side to Cunningham. Cunningham going to drive towards that middle marker, the 18. Now she's going to go baseline. And a slide tackle from Flint City. I thought it was going to poke it out, but sticking with it goes Kalamazoo FC. And a bad pass is going to leave this one to Carter, and Flint City takes over. Bad pass, though, off the foot of Maya Carter. She was looking for one of those forwards, just a little bit too underneath it. Brielle Gomez is going to bring it down for Kalamazoo FC. It's now back and forth between teammates for the Eagles. It goes. Gomez now shooting this one over the middle of the field, looking for Bearden. Bearden giving chase, but Esparza going to get there before it. There's a good read there from Karina Wiseman. Esparza. Good idea just to get out in front of that one. Not let Kalamazoo get any momentum into that 18. Flint City now off a bad pass. They're going to serve this one up on a platter to Callie Callie Cunningham. As Cunningham was looking for a mockery in the middle there, just a little too much under. And then poked out of bounds. Last touch that one by Maya Carter. So the sliding effort, going to give this ball right back to Kalamazoo. So they're going to look to build something off this possession. Became a mockery. Going to stumble up and lose this one as Landis Canada going to take over. But then lose it up to Maddie Canada. It's Kalamazoo now, middle of the field. Shooting up that left side. Looking here for Bearden. Bearden giving chase. Playing it through the middle. And a whistle now from the officials. That's going to stop up play. Give Flint City a little bit of breathing room deep inside their defensive end. Blasted up towards the middle. It goes over the head of Stolfus and into the forwards for Flint City. As trying to get around somebody goes Caldwell. And then the takeaway from Kalamazoo. As the back line now going to keep it for themselves and try and set something up over on that right side. Gomez looking, now shooting up the middle. And then back bounce to Gomez off the foot of a mockery. She's just going to get it deflected, looking there for Cunningham. Cunningham giving chase, and that one's just going to go out of bounds. Kalamazoo able to retain possession. Approaching that 30-minute mark, still just 1-0. A really hard-fought first half between these two clubs. In that corner, it's just going to roll out of bounds. So wet grass going to let this one roll a little bit farther than it would on a dry day here in Kalamazoo. The toss in here from Flint City. So just and try and give on that left side, but the suffocating defense from Kalamazoo FC, not giving any room to breathe to Flint City here in this first half. The pressure's being applied from Todd Wells' game plan. So far in this first half, the game plan's working. 1-0's the lead for Kalamazoo. So they're looking to go up in the ranks with a win here today. Flint City now. Some good spacing, but off the touch. It's going to get taken away by Kalamazoo FC. It's now shooting up the middle of the field there for a Mockery. A Mockery, though, just going to have too much collisions down on the field. And now, a little bit of wrestling going down there. Mockery just trying to get up, but Landis Canada trying to keep her down. Now feeding a Mockery again. And then a takeaway by Flint. They're going to try and set something up going towards the middle of the field, and then they're just going to send it right back towards their own 18. So now it's going to go right side, approaching midfield here with 4. Randy 4, she's going to feed it there to Caldwell. Caldwell going to swing it to the middle of the field. This one's going to be here for Sammy Woods. Woods is that one person I'd say on Flint City's scouting report you got to be careful of. Hurting this team last year, hurting Kalamazoo that is last year, scoring 2 goals. She can get the offense going in a hurry. Stolfus, though, trying to get it going here for Kalamazoo. Flint City's just going to send this one out of bounds and reset the Eagles. Stolfus trying to get this one to Bearden. Bearden just going to give it back off the toss-in. As now Ford going to go to Gomez. Brielle Gomez slowly crossing that midfield. Then going to speed it up, looking for Bearden. Stumbling with it, feeding a Mockery. And then back out of the 18 it goes, and some breathing room there for the Bucks. As a bad pass, that's going to get taken away by Stolfus. A good read there to jump the lane and take it away from Flint. Mackenzie Ford. She's just going to play this one into Gomez. Gomez has been the facilitator here to start this one so far across the middle of the field. And if Kalamazoo doesn't like it, they go right back to her and try and set something up. Back off the foot of Gomez it goes. Left side here for Stolfus. It's going to get a bad bounce off the foot. Stolfus going to spin off the body. And then Flint City is just going to send this one back across middle of the field. And reset, here we go for Kalamazoo FC. Gomez with. And back around that triangle it goes between Canada, Gomez, Ford. Now Gomez going to feed it over to Cunningham, but it's going to be rejected by a Flint City defender. And out of bounds it goes once again. Tossing coming here from Kyla Newcomb. As a close couple of looks there for Kalamazoo to get that ball back. And now they're going to get it back. As some disruptive defense being played by Bailey Corhorn here in this first half. Cunningham going to feed that right side to a Mockery. A Mockery going to get well underneath it. So that's just going to be lifted up and over the goalpost. Not really a chance there to challenge Wiseman Esparza. Still just 1-0 past that 35th minute mark here in the first half. So later stages of this first half now. Still 1-0 as the Eagles, the home team, leading so far over the defending champions. A laser beam off the foot of Wiseman Esparza. Flint City with it, crossing midfield. They're going to look to feed into Woods. Woods, though, just running a little too far. So that one wasn't really served with much gusto. Kalamazoo FC switching it up from left to right side of the field. So they're going to attack here with Kayla Newcomb. Newcomb, though, going to get this one poked out, and good defense there by Carter. Flint City making it tough for Kalamazoo early on in this soccer matchup. So they've really had to work for the one goal that they found. Many attempts, though, here for Kalamazoo FC in this first half. Flint City's kind of just suffocating in all the pressure that they've been applying here in this first half. Stolfus with it left side. She likes to drive that baseline and serve it up over the middle. As off the foot, it goes to Flint City, and then a bad pass from Flint City gives it right back to Music. Music going to serve this one up off the post and in. What a bounce off the post. What a shot. A diving attempt from Wiseman Esparza, and a 2-0 lead early on in this matchup for Kalamazoo FC. Man, oh man, what a shot there from Music. And man, oh man, in the closing stages of this first half, a UFC as really starting to challenge Esparza in between those posts. Go the Eagles. So they're just going to keep the pressure on. It's been working so far in this first half. Why change it if it's not broken? Two to nothing to score, approaching that 38th minute mark. Kalamazoo FC keeping that pressure on. So now they're just going to let this one roll through. Flint City hop back on it. Trying to just survive this first half with the lead and go into halftime. It's got to be the objective here for Kalamazoo FC. Music going to feed to Korhorn. Korhorn going to drive straight through the heart of the defense, spin back around, fake a shot, getting defenders slipping and sliding all over the place. Feeding back to Cunningham. Is it Mockery with it now? And what a diving stop there from Esparza. As man, oh man, a lot of chances there for Kalamazoo FC. Korhorn was just slicing through the heart of the defense. Man, oh man. Korhorn almost had that by herself, 3-on-1. Gomez with it for the Eagles. She's going to play it right side into Newcomb. Newcomb defended over on that right side by Caldwell. It's going to go out of bounds. Last touch deflected off of Caldwell. The Eagles going to keep possession in their offensive half. Into the 18, looking for Bearden. Music, though, going to hop back off of the deflecting. It's now Stolfus with it. She's going to switch behind the back, go right side. Trying to keep this defense on their toes. They're getting used to Stolfus driving left side on them. Stolfus just trying to switch it up and which way she attacks that defense. Gomez with it right now. She's going to feed it to a Mockery. And then back to Stolfus on that left side. She's going to drive it baseline. There's a defender there. She's going to nutmeg it through. And then a takeaway from Flint City. As Carter was trying to turn, it's going to get deflected off the foot of Canada and out of bounds. Flint City going to take possession here. Inbound pass with 4. 4 looking for Woods. Woods, though, not going to be able to get on it. And a take. Kalamazoo FC going to hop back on top and feed a Mockery into the middle. A Mockery going to feed Korhorn now. Korhorn going right side. She's going to give a really good attempt, but slip up down on the wet field. So those elements playing a factor here. As wide left. As so far, Kalamazoo trying to attack that left side of the net. And keep having Esparza diving right. It's been working so far. 2-0 is the score. 41 minutes into this matchup. Nearing halftime. Flint City trying to find themselves a goal to walk into half. Only down 1. Instead of the 2-0 advantage for Kalamazoo right now. Wiseman Esparza going to send this one near the middle of the field. Cunningham, though, going to find a head underneath it. Cunningham trying to slice open the defense. However, taken away by Caldwell. As Delaney Caldwell driving up that left side, she's going to feed another Flint City teammate, and then well up and into the defense it goes, and almost around Wilberding, but coming out and using the feet once again, as it's a completely different play style than we're used to seeing when it's Kalen Junk in the net for the Eagles. Junk likes to stay inside the 6 and really just protect the net. Wilberding, though, coming out a couple of times so far in this matchup, making some really good reads and really good plays. Dangerous plays, but so far today, 2 for 2 on coming out of that box, not letting anything come by her. Successful day between the posts so far for Wilberding. Playing keep away in the middle of the field goes Flint City. As now they're going to try and cost it here with 4. 4's pass, though, going to be deflected and given right back to her. As she's going to find her teammate in the middle of the field. That one going to be Caldwell. Up on a silver platter to Corhorn. Corhorn going to try and feed Bearden on that left side, but slowing it back up and just playing their kind of soccer goes Kalamazoo. So they're going to feed it from Ford into Gomez and let Gomez try and attack and find the openings on that defense for Flint City, and she does right away. Finds Newcomb driving on that right side. It goes. Trying to find a centering feed is Newcomb. She's going to find one using the left foot, but another shot towards that left sideline. Into the corner it goes and deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Kalamazoo FC. So here comes a goal kick for Wiseman Esparza, trying to set up Flint in some good attacking positions here in the later stages of this first half. Approaching the 44th minute. 2-0 still the score, as Kalamazoo leads it here at home against the defending champions of the Great Lakes Division. This is a game that they're really going to want to try and stay on top of and walk away with a victory. Off the foot of Wiseman Esparza, Kalamazoo going to find a way to take it over and then quickly lose it to Flint City. As now they're going to attack left side here with Caldwell. Caldwell going to slow it up as Music there playing good defense. It's going to be deflected and lost by Caldwell. Kalamazoo going to take back over. Off the toss in from Newcomb. They're just going to feed it over to Ford. Let Mackenzie Ford go to work trying to find something here. She's going to serve it up middle of the field for a Mockery. Kama's going to be draped with 2 defenders all over her. She's going to feed it to Stolfus and try and give a little bit more breathing room for the Eagles. Brielle Gomez with it now in that back line. She's going to just play back and forth between her and Ford. As Mackenzie Ford doesn't like what she's seeing, she's going to serve it back over on that right side to Gomez. Gomez pushing it up middle of the field. Not liking what she's seeing, and they're just trying to get towards the end of this first half. Back and forth between goalkeeper and back defender. Brielle Gomez trying to put the pressure on now, trying to look over the middle and find Corhorn. However, that's just going to roll a little too far. It's not going to roll out of bounds, so Flint City trying to just let it go out, but it's going to slow up. And in deep in their defensive zone is Flint City. Luckily, though, for them, it's going to be a ring of the whistles, and that's going to be the final for the first half here. 2-0 is the score as we go into halftime. What a display of offense here for the Eagles in this first half. Flint City not able to find their way into the back of the net. The advantage 2-0 for Kalamazoo FC is we're going to have 15 minutes, a little bit of a break here for halftime as the pressure being put on and 45 more minutes to go here in Kalamazoo FC as the Eagles lead it 2-0 over the Bucks. Stick around here on the live stream for Kalamazoo FC as we'll be back in 15 minutes. 2-0 to score. Kalamazoo leading over Flint. Test. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. All right, back and in action for half number 2. As Kalamazoo FC, they are leading at home against the defending Great Lakes Division champions in Flint City. As it's a 2-0 score for Kalamazoo FC. A good first half, putting a lot of pressure on the defense of the Bucks. As this one rolls out of bounds, referee's going to say last touch by Flint City. That's going to set up Kalamazoo FC with a toss in off of Newcomb. And then Newcomb's toss in quickly lost there. It's a takeaway there for Tatum Galvin. Galvin just going to play it into the back line. Then quickly getting across the field and into Kalamazoo's own defense. Wilberding just going to slowly try and set Kalamazoo FC up here with something over towards the sideline as she's going to shoot it. And after it's touched by a buck, the takeaway from Stolfist is going to keep it with Kalamazoo FC. Shooting up towards the middle of the field, they're going to go it left side with Claudia Musig. Musig has a couple of players on each side of the field. She's going to elect to go right side over to Callie Cunningham. Cunningham, she's going to try and take it into the interior. Serve one up, trying to chip the goalie, but a really good save there by Wiseman Esparza as she just punched it up and over. It's not enough underneath that attempt there from Cunningham. She wasn't trying to just muscle it into the back of the goal. Tried putting a little bit of finesse underneath it and chipped the goalie. However, just a little too close. And an easy read there for Wiseman Esparza. Stolfus going to use the steps. Send this one towards the middle. Try and find Bearden on the receiving end. However, it's going to roll away. Musig going to still keep it with Kalamazoo FC. So they're going to go right side now into Canada. Canada trying to serve it up left side. Trying to look for Corhorn. However, it's going to find Musig. Claudia going to try and serve it up once again. Bouncing off a couple of defenders. Kalamazoo still going to stick with it. They're going to go right side to Newcomb. Kyla Newcomb now lofting this one over to that left side. And the post going to save it. And roll out of bounds. A good look there for Kalamazoo. As a couple of good looks and really good attempts there. Still 2-0 though. Off a couple of good saves there by Esparza. Here comes a corner kick for Kalamazoo FC as it's last touch by Flint City. So we'll see which way Kalamazoo wants to play it. I would think, though, they're looking for Corhorn in the middle of that 18, and that's exactly who they shoot for. Bailey going to get a head underneath it and pop that one up in the air, and then Flint City just going to send it out of bounds and a toss in here off the hands of Newcomb. Newcomb taking a couple of different hops. That one just slipping out of the hands, though. And it's going to go right to a Flint City defender and Caldwell. And now a whistle is going to slow this one back up. And to Flint City it goes. Still pressure being applied here from Kalamazoo FC. Nothing too overzealous, though, for the moment. The pressure is on, though, from Kalamazoo FC. From all the forwards. So everybody's playing up and on their defenders. Whether it's Corhorn, Amakri, Cunningham, Bearden, even Music. When she can get up and in the action, the pressure's there and on from everybody. Kalamazoo going to come down with it off the inbound. And slow it back up. They're looking there for Gomez, middle of the field. Spriel Gomez been the facilitator for this women's squad as she's going to quickly send this one up and into the 18. As it's going to roll out of bounds. Actually, the official's going to say it stayed in. It looked from up here she was well out of bounds. However, catching a break there goes Flint City. 2-0, still the score, though. Kalamazoo leads the defending champions of the Great Lakes. To doubleheader between these two clubs. As right now, the women's squad trying to get it done here at Mayor's Riverfront Park. So far, 50 minutes gone by and a 2-0 score for the Eagles leading at home. And then the men's game going to be starting off at 7:30, looking to really hop back on top of the division and keep this season rolling how it's been so far for Coach St. Lions and the Eagles. An inbound here for Flint City. Flint desperately needing something to put themselves back in this game. Is Caldwell going to serve something over the middle? This one, though, is going to be Carter giving chase. Carter sticking with it and sliding attempt, feeding something over the middle. Flint City still sticking with it. They're going to hit this one up off the post. Wilberding thought it was going to go over. And then out of bounds it goes. Last touch by a Buck. Wilberding, though, thought that one was for sure going to soar over the post. However, it hit the post and really saved the keeper there for Kalamazoo because it didn't look like she was giving much of an effort to that one, I will say. However, result the same, 2-0, still the score as Kalamazoo leads it here approaching minute 52. As a pass to Cunningham off the foot of Newcomb is going to be intercepted by Caldwell. Caldwell's just going to play this one back into Galvin. Galvin now, she's going to look up and give it there to Kalita. Kalita sticking around, bouncing off her Flint City Buck teammates. Good ball movement in their offensive half here from Flint City. As Bearden just going to poke this one out and let Kalamazoo reset. Catch their breath a little bit. But not for too long as the inbound pass here from Flint City is back and in play. And then bounced right back out of bounds by Stolfus. Stolfus playing really good defense over on that far side of the field. No breathing room for any players here for Flint City. It's a minute by minute. Everybody getting more tired down on that field. And the weather's going to start playing a factor in this one. Everybody slipping and sliding down there on the field. People getting cold. But the body's running around down the field, trying to stay warm, trying to stay in it. As Flint City trying to find something to put themselves right back into this game. They trail 2-0 over the home Eagle team. Maya Carter taking the free kick here. A couple of ways Flint could play this one if they wanted. They could try and attack Wilberding, go right for the net. They could play it to one of their teammates. Caldwell off to the left. They're just going to go right at Wilberding, but it's up and over the net. A good look, though, from Flint City outside the 18. Good attempt, though, from Wilberding to also keep that one out. But just left up too high there from Maya Carter. It's Flint City desperately trying to get back into this one. Still trailing 2-0. Everybody knows in the USLW and USL2 that every game matters. Every game can play a huge swing on how your season goes. You got to get the wins when you can get them. You really got to stay away from those ties. The ties, I feel like, yeah, I mean, you get the 1 point from a tie. However, I feel like the tie is just deflating to all that momentum you have going through the season. Flint trying to set something up over the middle of the field. It's after the yellow card there from Callie Cunningham. Flint City going to go right back at it and try and find something to go into the back of the net. As the free kick's going to get deflected off of Carter. Corhorn trying to get something over the middle, and a slide tackle there from Corhorn's going to draw a yellow. Yellow card's going to come out to play. So Corhorn and Cunningham, two dynamic players for this Kalamazoo team. Got to be careful on how they play the rest of this game. You can't get another one of those as the two yellows add up to a red and give you the boot. As of right now, it's a one-man advantage. Flint only playing with the 10. Going to stick with this one over the middle of the field. So the man advantage for Kalamazoo playing a big difference and them putting pressure on this game. And it's harder for Flint to try and generate something offensively. But so far in this second half, I'd say that a lot of the pressure and offensive onslaught in this second half has come from getting a couple of good shots here in this second half. Trying to find their footing back into this game and trying to climb their way closer and closer back into this one. Needing to find that first one in the back of the net are the Bucks. So they trail Kalamazoo 2-0 still. 56, almost 57 minutes gone by here in this one. A mock middle. She's just going to slow it back up, play it into Canada. And Canada over on that left side to Ford. Kalamazoo playing cautious with it offensively, trying to keep possession in their hands. As the pass from Newcomb, Element's going to get in the way of that one. Couldn't get a solid connection with the ball, slipping up on the field. As this wet field is really going to get its work seen today, especially with the doubleheader. So we're in game 1 of 2 right now, approaching that 58-minute marker. Kalamazoo just trying to keep the score where it's at. Flint City trying to add on and get back into this one, still trailing 2. Emily Chung going to send this one. And then back into the back line off of Sammy Woods it goes. Flint City trying to go right, but a little bit too much underneath it. It's going to sail out of bounds. As the inbound to Musig, quickly taken away by Flint. They got something brewing here if they want it. They're going to have to quickly try and hop on top of things. So they're going to feed it right side of the 18. Couple of ways they can go. Some contact in the middle of the field. No whistle, though, from the officials. Kalamazoo slowing things up and keeping possession with them. And just let some of the time tick away here in this second half. Now speeding it up. Middle of the field it goes with Claudia Musig. Musig trying to serve something up over the middle of the Corhorn. Corhorn ringing a shot off, and that one deflected up and over. But down there on the field, the keeper for Flint City is going to be down, getting stretched out by teammate Caldwell. As with the time stoppage right now, we're going to take a minute here and we're going to thank our sponsors, as we'll be back when everybody's up and in good spirit. Day here in Kalamazoo. 2-0's the score as we're back in action. Goalie for as there's going to be a goal scored for Kalamazoo FC right off of the inbound, the corner kick, and another goal for Kalamazoo FC. So I was just about to talk about what happened, why we had to take a little bit of a break. The goalkeeper going down for Flint City as Wiseman Esparza back up, but quickly another goal is tacked on as Kalamazoo now leads this game 3-0 here, 64 minutes gone by. As at the end of this one, there will be a little bit of extra time tacked on due to the injury breaks and pauses we've had momentarily to this game. This extra time is going to, you'd think, be a little bit longer than normal, or what we've been used to seeing this year. I'd say they're going to give them upwards of 5 minutes or so, if I had to guess. But I'm not an official down there on the field, so we shall see once the time comes. However, for now, Flint City trying to crawl their way back out of this deficit that's now 3-0. As ball's just going to be played back into Wiseman Esparza. Kalamazoo FC giving chase defensively. A lot of time played off the clock there by Flint City, only to get that ball taken away in their defensive half. And then Kalamazoo going to slow things up, play it back into Mackenzie Ford. Try and find a gap to attack against this Flint City team. So they're going to cross up. They're going to go right side over to Newcomb. Newcomb going to slow this one back up to Gomez. Gomez over to Ford. So there's some shifting now in which side they want to go and attack. Trying to just create openings and places to expose away from Flint and not give them any opportunity to try and find some momentum and swing their way back into this one. As Newcomb, she's going to try and get something over the middle of the field. That's deflected, though, off the foot of Avery Kalita. Flint going to try and get something started here off the toss in from their goalkeeper. But a bad pass off the foot of Delaney Caldwell. And this ball is going to go right back the other way. Not what the Flint City faithful wanted to see was a quick turnover, but a quick turnover is what they got in Kalamazoo now. Trying to just slowly bleed out this clock and take their time and find the right area to attack versus quickly giving the ball back over to Flint like they just did. Trying to just be a little bit more patient, a little bit calmer in the way they're attacking, especially when you got a sizable lead of 3-0 against the defending Great Lakes champs. Flint City being pressed on by Music. Music's pressure is going to force the takeaway in the long run, as the forced pass up the field to Delaney Caldwell is going to be taken away by Kalamazoo FC's back line. Wilberding trying to see which way she wants to go. She's going to play short ball into Maddie Canada. Canada feeds to Ford, then back to Canada. Middle of the field, and some pressure going to be applied now by Samantha Woods. But then the opening is going to be found by Kalamazoo FC. Trying to slice through the heart of the defense. It goes for Kalamazoo FC. Ariana Stolf is sticking with it. And a whistle. Going to stop play here, but then quickly resuming off the free kick from Flint City. It goes, and the Bucks having a little bit of speed and momentum towards this one, trying to find something up towards the 18. It was a good idea, but a really good read from the defense of Kalamazoo FC. Now trying to go right side with it from Gomez up to Cunningham. This is the way Kalamazoo's going to try and attack. Slowing down with Cunningham, only to get that pressure applied by Caldwell. Trying to go through the middle. Cunningham going to get tripped up, and there's going to be a whistle. So a free kick well outside the 18. Don't believe anybody's going to ring off a shot. Might get something lobbed up into the air for somebody to get underneath inside the 18, but I would say that's going to be well outside of striking distance. However, I could be fooled, as seems to be like Mackenzie Ford might be the one to come in and take this shot, as a couple of subs coming into the game, as well as Brianna Musser. She will be checking in, trying to close out this matchup, as Cunningham and Music going to get some well-deserved rest. A good 69 minutes being played today from both down on the field, as it was a productive First couple of moments, especially from Music, the feeds from Cunningham and the speed from Cunningham, exposing the defense from Flint City. Good jobs from those two. They get some well-deserved rest. Gomez plays it into that back line still. Ford going to just try and slowly get something going here for Kalamazoo FC. As up through to the middle of the field it goes. Now right corner here with Musser. Brianna Musser trying to get something into the middle. She's going to find a Mockery. And then Corhorn, she's going to have 3 defenders draped all over. And a takeaway here from Flint City. Good defense there inside their own 18 to keep the score right where it's at. As it's been 3 unanswered goals here from Kalamazoo FC. As Akema Mockery going to get a takeaway. Dangerously it goes and into the back of the net. Right past Wiseman Esparza. And a goal from Akema Mockery, her second on the day. As the second goal of the night earned a lot better than the first one, as it was a really good feed from Cunningham, and the header finished off from Akema Mockery, but what a strike past the goalkeeper on that. And now it's a 4-0 lead here for Kalamazoo FC over the Great Lakes defending champs, as the game plan from Todd Wells is going exactly how he drew it up. The pressure's being applied, and another substitution is going to be checking in here as Brooklyn Whitehead going to get her first couple of minutes seen here in the second half of action. As some really nice soccer being played from Kalamazoo FC, as Kennedy Bearden now going to be subbed out, and she's going to looking to get something to add to their highlight tape at the end of this season. They're trying to add their numbers right here, especially when you got the defending champs rolling into town, trying to make a statement here. And so far, a statement it has been. 4 unanswered goals straight for Kalamazoo FC. As man, oh man, the scoring today and the pressure, it's just beautiful soccer being played here from Kalamazoo FC. As the man advantage for Kalamazoo FC has played them beautifully all day. However, it's one of those ones that you could, at the end of the year, maybe put an asterisk next to, just so when you see them again, you're not going to take it any lighter and say, hey, I mean, we beat these guys 4-0 the first time. Yeah, but you are also playing a man short. Or a man advantage, I should say. As Flint City trying to find something. They've had chances here in this matchup, but Wilberding playing really good in between the posts, keeping it a scoreless game. As now we're creeping into the final stages of this matchup. You've got to think that Wilberding's looking at that scoreboard, trying to keep this scoreless on her end and get a shutout victory on the year. Flint City crossing the middle of the field. Slowly but surely getting their way. As they're finding clean passes, they're going to try and get one more. As the shot, though, is going to be wrung out and left wide right. As they had a couple of more passes they could make, but shooting it from far outside the 18. And wide right goes Flint City's possession. As the one thing I've kind of noticed, Flint City not exactly, you could say, wasteful in possession today, but needing to keep the ball and take better shots than ripping them from outside the 18 when you're down a little bit. But also, it's been hard for them to get inside of that interior of the back line today as well, being a man short. As here's the inbound from McCarthy. And a whistle. It's going to free up play here a little bit. And a free kick coming for Kalamazoo FC. 74 minutes gone by, approaching that 75th. as it's 4-0. 4 straight goals here for Kalamazoo FC. As we're getting closer towards the end of this one, Kalamazoo FC is going to have to be impressed with how they've played today. And if anybody's going to be the most impressed down there on the field, you'd have to think it's going to be head coach Todd Wells. Because this isn't an easy team, regardless of Flint being a man stranded. This is still a really good club, and it should be a big win for Kalamazoo nonetheless. So now a quick takeaway. Here it comes for Flint City. They're going to try and attack it left side. The pass served up to Caldwell, but Caldwell swarmed by the defense for Kalamazoo FC. That one's just going to get sent into the stands by Brielle Gomez. Good defense played by Kalamazoo, as it's just suffocating here in the second half. If they keep playing the way that they've played this entire game, you'd have to think it's going to come with a win at the end for the home team. Kalamazoo just needing to minimize mistakes as we're getting near the end. This is the most important crunch time here at the end of the game. Can't let any drastic comebacks start here at this point in the game. As Kalamazoo's just going to slowly play it from defender into goalkeeper and then switch up sides of the field. Trying to find a Mockery over the middle, but a bad pass and a takeaway here for Flint City. As Flint's going to make a bad pass of their own. As there was a whistle, it seems to be before the bad pass, because that ball rolled about 20 feet out of bounds. But Flint City's still going to stick with it. As these headphones, I mean, quite deafening. Can't hear all the whistles up here from the press box. But Flint City going to stick with it nonetheless, as they're trying to get something going, trying to find something over the middle of the field, but once again, a Kalamazoo defender just going to blast this one out. That time it's Newcomb. A Mockery, middle of the field. She's just going to try and play it back and then sprint up the field, try and get something into the offensive end for Kalamazoo FC. Muster driving that right side. She's going to take it towards the baseline, serve something up over the middle of the field, centering feed, but nobody on the end of it. As there was a couple people around it, but no communication, and Flint City going to get the takeaway, try and start something for them. The Bucks still having some pressure played from Kalamazoo FC, as the Bucks in their defensive end playing it into the back line. As this feed's going to be sent up into the air, Kalamazoo going to come down with it off the bad touch. As it's pretty much going to be a game of keep away. Anytime Kalamazoo has the ball, you'd think for the rest of this matchup, they're just trying to bleed this clock out, keep it simple, mistake-free, and just slowly work their way up the field and try and get some looks at any time that they can, but also in no rush with the lead that they have right now being 4-0. As so far, it's just been 2 goals in the first half, 2 goals in the second half. 2 plus 2 adds up to 4. That's where we're all at to the 80th minute mark in this matchup. Musser trying to add on and get the score up to 5, but her pass going to be deflected and then sent out of bounds by Flint City. So going to stick with it goes Kalamazoo FC, but another pair of substitutions. Laura Geisler and Shelby Moore going to check in here for Kalamazoo FC, as Akema Mockery and Bailey Corhorn going to be sat down for the last 10 minutes and whatever of extra time in this matchup. It's been a really good game here for Kalamazoo FC so far. Just needing to stick with it and finish this game as they're going to get something. But a takeaway there for Flint City off the Whitehead feed to the middle. Trying to get something in the middle of the field, but taking their time for sure at this stage in the game. Up 4 with 10 minutes and then a little bit of extra time in this matchup. Flint City would have to score in a hurry if they want to mount a comeback. They're going to have to do it rapid fire. As a lot of time when Flint City is able to get the ball, it leads to a quick takeaway for Kalamazoo. As not many looks so far in this second half for Flint City. They've only had a couple where it's anything that really challenged where it's really challenged Wilberding in between those posts. But here comes an attacking set, but then it's just going to be sent right out of bounds as it was a 4-on-2 attack. 4 defenders for Kalamazoo take care of the 2 attackers of Flint City with ease. 82 minutes about gone by in this matchup. As with it, tosses in over to Mackenzie Jones. And then back into the goalkeeper and Wilberding it goes. Kalamazoo just trying to keep this game right where it's at, the lead right where it's at. It's taking their time, trying to park the bus. In this matchup, go the Eagles. As the feed from Gomez over to Newcomb going to be last touch by Kyla Newcomb, then sent out of bounds. So Flint going to come down with it. Almost have a couple of takeaways as Kalamazoo, but sticking with it are the Bucks. Some really focused soccer right there from Flint City to stick with it as it kept bouncing off defender to defender. But not giving up on it goes Flint City. Sammy Woods trying to feed something over the middle to Caldwell. And then this one going to just be sent right back into the back line for Kalamazoo FC to try and just take a little bit more off this clock. As off the foot of Gomez, it's going to be lost to Flint City. Flint City trying to get something going. As Kalamazoo's going to catch up and be square defensively. Flint City going to slow it back up and try and create some openings. Trying to send this one side to side. But then they're just going to play it back into their goalie. And Wiseman Esparza going to send this one near midfield, and it's going to find a head. Flint City going to come down with it. And played back over and into the back line of Flint City once more. Not liking what they're seeing from this Eagle defense. As now Shannon McCarthy going to feed it back to Galvin. Galvin now middle of the field there for Kalita. Then now right side it goes. The Bucks trying to get something going late in this matchup. 85 minutes gone by now. And still just 4-0 for Kalamazoo FC as it's in the late stages of this first matchup. So now it's going to go right side to McCarthy. Left side, excuse me. As Galvin now with it, crossing middle of the field. She's going to try and feed it there to Caldwell. Caldwell going to get a bump and run. So now it goes right side here for the Bucks. Trying to get something over the middle of the field to Samantha Woods. And then it's going to be sent in the air, and Flint City still sticking down with it. As Hannah Thompson going to stick with it and take away from Caldwell. Kyla Newcomb going to look and go across the field to Musser. There's nobody on that other side of the field. It's a one-on-one game being played from 4 to Musser. And 4 going to win this battle for Flint City and keep possession in their sights. Then a pass going to be swung over the middle of the field, deflected and taken away by Kalamazoo FC. Just trying to drain some time now. Go the Eagles. So they know how much this game really means. Over the middle of the field it goes. Kalamazoo FC going to feed something up to Brooklyn Whitehead. And then Wiseman Esparza just going to scoop it up. There's a little much underneath it. Kept it rolling on and on. And 87 minutes now gone by in this matchup. As a 4-goal advantage here for Kalamazoo FC. It's been 4 goals unanswered. As this Eagle offense has been highly productive today against the Bucks defense. As a pass to the middle of the field from Flint City is going to go right back to Lauren Kochenis. Excuse me, Maddie Canada. As just slowly approaching it goes Kalamazoo FC, Brielle Gomez. In that back line, just playing a game of keep away it seems to be as the score is up to 4-0. Just trying to drain as much clock as they can get because it's probably going to be a extra couple of minutes in that extra time due to the Wiseman Esparza injury or cramp up a couple of minutes ago in this second half. I'd have to think that there's going to be 5 or 6 minutes of extra time here played between these two teams. Kalamazoo's just trying to keep the game right where it's at, a 4-0 lead for them. Flint City's just trying to get something into the back of the net and make this trip at least worthwhile to Kalamazoo because so far for this women's squad, they haven't had much going. Samantha Woods now left side of the 18. She's going to have a couple of defenders all over trying to twist and turn around the Eagle defense. As now it's going to go up top to Caldwell. Caldwell going to get something behind her. And then it's going to be deflected up and out of bounds. Last touch, though, by Kalamazoo FC. So a corner kick coming here for Flint City. As they haven't had much going in this second half, they're going to have a couple of opportunities to try and close this one out and ruin a shutout here for Ava Wilberding. However, Wilberding needing to play her toughest minutes right now. This is going to be sent up over the middle of the field. McCarthy just going to try and get this one over Newcomb. And then Kyla Newcomb just going to get sent it out of bounds off the deflection. So Flint City still sticking with it. As McCarthy going to get an inbound here. Try and get it past Newcomb. But then Delaney Caldwell hitting the ground. And a takeaway for Kalamazoo FC. As another whistle is going to come out to play. And a free kick here for Flint City. As Tatum Galvin, a couple of ways she can play this one. She's going to have McCarthy to her left, a couple of defenders over there to her right if she wants to play it deep, and then a couple of bodies inside that 18 if she wants to loft something their way. As she's going to get a shot off, and another post save right there as Wilberding going to get a sigh of relief from herself. That crossbar has been Ava Wilberding's best friend here in this matchup. Flint City. As another corner kick here for the Bucks. This one's going to be up and over Wilberding and now sent back out of bounds. So they're going to cross the field, and another corner kick here for a bit of extra time played here. About 5 minutes, maybe even more. After a couple players hit the ground, cramping up. We're back and in action. But now all just extra minutes, as all the pressure here from Kalamazoo FC has just got to be shifted onto Wilberding's shoulders, as the highlight that we're looking for to end this one is a shutout save. As trying to go at Wilberding as I was speaking about it, goes for Flint City, but Kalamazoo's keeper making a good save as it was right at her, chest level, making an easy grab, sending it back Kalamazoo's way. Trying to give chase over on Geisler is the Bucks' Samantha Wood. However, now just needing to finish and keep playing, keep away, goes this Eagle defense. It's all into extra time. 92 minutes gone by. As it's been an offensive onslaught here in this matchup for the Eagles, as they're trying to tack something on in these late stages of this game, maybe make it a 5-0 game. Newcomb going to try and feed somebody over the middle. Whitehead not able to get behind it, and a takeaway for Flint City. However, this pass going to be way over top of anybody in any attacking room for Flint City. And it's right back to Kalamazoo FC it goes. Kalamazoo FC just waiting for the whistle, and they're going to get it. As what a matchup in this game here for Kalamazoo FC and Flint City. A hard-fought battle, but Kalamazoo FC going to get the better of the Great Lakes divisional rival and defending champion of Flint City. Is the first matchup between these two at home, won by Kalamazoo FC, as they're still going to meet each other over on Flint's home ground later this year, as that matchup could play a crucial finish to the season between these two teams, as everybody's trying to fight for that top dog in Detroit City FC. However, in the first battle between some got-out victory for Ava Wilberding, and we're going to have just about a half an hour break, and we'll be back here. Same live stream. Nobody's going to be ending anything. We'll be back in about a half an hour for the men's game, as the first game of the doubleheader won by the women 4-0. We'll be waiting for about a half an hour later, and we'll be back here with the men's game, as between the Flint City in dramatic fashion. Stick around. We'll be back in about a half an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the live stream on YouTube for Kalamazoo FC versus Flint City, as this is the second game in our doubleheader for tonight, as the women's squad for Kalamazoo and Flint both went at it. A 4-0 victory for the home squad, as the Eagles won game 1 of 2, looking for the home sweep, as we are about to get the home team. Kalamazoo FC Eagles welcome in the defending champions of the Great Lakes Division in USL 2, and we are underway here at Mayor's Riverfront Park, as Kalamazoo FC quickly trying to get out in front into the action. It's going to have to be a similar recipe to that first game. The women's match out to a quick start and keeping that high pressure, as this is going to be a really high action, high intensity kind of game between these two squads, as everybody looking for that number 1 spot, chasing Midwest United, as they've got a lot more games played than Kalamazoo FC and Flint. 2 more games in Kalamazoo FC, 3 more games in Flint. So it's a big factor why Midwest is up at the top, as going inside the 18, challenging the keeper early on goes number 18, as that's going to be Grayson Mercer for Kalamazoo FC. But good defense early on, as didn't get anything into Jakob Grzyak yet. Here comes a corner kick for Kalamazoo FC. Early chances in this matchup. First time these two teams are going to be seeing each other, and you can see right there, condition match was a steady drizzle. And it seems like it's lightened up a little bit here, as Mercer's going to have something into Jakob Grzyak, but they're going to call it offsides, as Mercer just a little bit out in front of that Flint City back line. But hey, you got to like the eagerness, you got to like the aggression early on from Mercer, if you're Kalamazoo FC's head coach Shane Lyons. As first 2 years that this club has existed, Shane Lyons got his guys into the playoffs and winning the Great Lakes Division, all for last year kind of having a stumble in the first year of a stumble for Coach Lyons in this Kalamazoo FC squad, as they missed the playoffs for Kalamazoo for the first time since they started, but looking to get back on top this year in the 24 campaign. Currently 3rd place in the Great Lakes Division, as they're behind Flint City and Midwest United, as what Midwest United sitting atop the Great Lakes Division 5-0 with 1 tie, as behind them Flint City 2-0 with 1 tie, and then Kalamazoo FC 2-1-1. So the Eagles looking to find their way back into the win column in this matchup, as the last game that they play falling to Midwest United 2-1 in a really highly contested matchup. But looking to get back into the win column here today is Kalamazoo FC, as they're going to play this over to Asher Barnes in that left corner. Barnes to Mercer. Mercer going to feed it into the middle, but nothing brewing there for Kalamazoo FC on that attacking set. It's now back line. It goes into Kalamazoo. Now number 26. That's going to be Lucas Hummel. Quickly moving the pace into that right corner, as he's going to have number 9, Donovan Gusto Phillip. As Phillip's just going to try and feed it back over to Hummel, as he's going to get over his defender. And now Hummel trying to get things going here in the early stages for Kalamazoo FC. He's going to feed it left side. This one's going to be Colin Innes. Innes just going to get that deflected, and Flint City going to send it out of harm's way. However, keeping it inbounds goes number 32, Matthew Bovain. Bovain going to keep this alive here for Kalamazoo FC, as he's going to play it on into Veracruz. A long ball going into the 18, last touch by Kalamazoo FC, as keeper Grzyak is going to just try and send something and show off that powerful leg here in the early stages of this matchup. As Grzyak going to play this one short corner. And then left side, it goes for Flint City. And they're going to lose this one to Kalamazoo FC, but then hop right back on top of a bad touch from Kalamazoo. And Flint City now trying to play it towards the middle of the field. This one going to be for Blam. Is Blamma going to lose it? Here comes Hummel. Playing left side to Innes. Innes just going to slow things back up. And then Bovain going to play it back into Cook, the goalie, as not the usual goalie for Kalamazoo FC, as Duarte Ramos got a red card in the last matchup against Midwest United, so he's not in action, but keeper for this one's going to be Andrew Cook, as Cook's going to try and keep the Great Lakes defending champions honest this whole matchup and try and put up some good numbers between those posts. It's Innes now. He's going to go left side. This one here for Smith. Owen Smith going to pass it into the middle, as this one's going to be a shot rung off and a scooping save there from Griziak, as that one's going to be Melingari. Kalamazoo FC still sticking with it. As spinning around goes Owen Smith, losing it though, and a bad touch from Flint City to give it right back to Kalamazoo FC. Then we're going to get a whistle and a free kick coming here for Kalamazoo FC. It's going to be well outside within striking distance, I'd say, but Smith looking to set up his team with some success inside that 18-yard marker. There's a couple ways they could play it. Colin Innes and Owen Smith up around the ball, as we're going to see who's going to get that striking touch on it. As here goes Innes, sending Griziak, going to throw it out left side, try and set up in front for Flint City, as a sliding stop going to be made there. Really good read for Kalamazoo FC. And just a slow up of pace as they're going to send this one well within their own offensive end, and then rolling out of bounds for Flint City to take over. As the inbound is going to be botched up into the air. A couple of heads underneath it. Both Flint City and Kalamazoo FC getting some touches on it, but it's going to look like number 21, Melingari, going to hop underneath a jumping player in Brock Pickett, and that's going to flat somebody in the middle of the air. Dangerous kind of play there. Nothing, though, with ill intent coming from Mike Melingari. Kalamazoo setting something up over on that right side of the field. This one going to be Phillip. Looking to try and take something into back defenders. We're looking for that whistle a little bit earlier. You're going to get it regardless, though. As Jakob Griziak going to play this one. Try and get it up towards the middle of the field. As we're going to get another whistle here. This one going to set Flint City up over towards their goal. As just 9 minutes gone by. Flint City trying to set themselves up with some trickery at the free kick. They're going to have two people swarming it, as Al Rashid on the right side, seeming like he's going to take the shot, and does. It's going to be faded up into the 18. Somebody going to be on the receiving end for Flint City, and that one's just going to be deflected and sent out by Kalamazoo FC. So What a play off the free kick for Kalamazoo FC to keep this one right where it's at, scoreless. Just 10 minutes into this matchup. It's Flint City now trying to get something going with Al Rashid. He's going to feed it into his own teammates. Looking there for Blama. As a shot's going to be rung off and a scooping save there made by Andrew Cook. As we're still scoreless here, 10 minutes gone by. Kalamazoo FC looking to create some separation between Flint City and the home team Eagles. Cook now going to play the long ball and shoot it up, looking there for Mercer. However, it's just going to roll well over his team all the way back towards the other baseline. I mean, what a leg there from Cook. As some conversation now between fellow Eagles. Who's going to take the toss in, as it's going to be number 26, Lucas Hummel. Hummel looking to set up Mercer. As Flint City going to get a quick takeaway, looking to use that left side of the field as they're going to cross midway, slow it up, and then send something now in towards that back line. As a sliding tackle going to be made. And what a good stop there by Kalamazoo FC. As you'd expect, you're going to see a lot more tackling here today in this matchup with the wet weather. Some guys on the field can slide a little bit extra than what they normally can. Maybe get a little bit more, like 5 yards out of a slide than what they're used to. As Kalamazoo FC eagerly ready to get back into it. However, the officials weren't ready, and seems as if Duarte Ramos can try and send this one down, as it's going to be Donovan Phillip on the other end. He's going to get shoved in the back, and there's going to be a whistle drawn on that play, as Donovan Gusto Phillip shoved down to the ground. A little bit of physicality going on in between these two teams. I mean, two of the better teams in this Great Lakes division looking to get the better of each other here tonight. As if Flint City could be handed their first loss in this match, it would equalize the records between the two clubs, and we would have a straight-up three-way tie for second place, as AFC Ann Arbor also having 4 matches played with a 2-1-1 record alongside Kalamazoo FC, but Flint City 2-0-1, still having yet to have someone hand them their first loss. Kalamazoo, though, looking to be that guy. As Blama, you're going to try and get something into the back of the net, and that's going to be good. As a diving Andrew Cook unable to stop it, a defensive lapse for Kalamazoo FC. And on the board first it goes for Flint City. As that's the first score here in this matchup. Now Kalamazoo FC looking and trailing, trying to find an equalizer in this one. They still have a lot of time, just 13 minutes, 14 minutes gone by in this matchup. But Kalamazoo not wanting to be, as needing to make as little bit mistakes as possible. Just a little lapse on that last play defensively. And it's going to take the score to where it's at, 1-0. Kalamazoo FC now trailing in this matchup, looking, like I said, to hand Flint their first loss. It's going to be sent over the middle, looking there for number 18, Grayson Mercer. However, coming away with it is going to be Barzi Blama. And then he's going to give it to Al Rashid. As Kalamazoo and the Eagle faithful looking for a handball right there. Not going to get it from the officials. However, slipping up on the attempt to get one into the middle is Melon Art. As some physical soccer still being played between these two teams. Kalamazoo going to get fresh gasp of air, sending it back towards Jakob Griesiak, as Griesiak's just going to send this one out of bounds. Kalamazoo going to take over, trailing the Bucks here 1-0. They're looking to take the crown back from the defending champions of the Great Lakes Division. As now number 21 send this right side as Melarangi's turnover, looking for Flint City to capitalize on the other end, but Al Rashid just a little bit out in front of it, needing to find something on the receiving end is Flint, but a diving save made by Andrew Cook to keep the score where it's at. 1-0 Flint City. Flint almost able to come up and make it a 2-goal game. However, a valiant effort by Andrew Cook. As something down there on that ball. Officials not liking what they're seeing, so that one's going to be out for the game. As Matthew Bovain going to play it back into Cook. And now going to be played downfield as they were looking right there for Melaragni. However, Melaragni going to grab that whistle from the officials, as now something it was within striking distance for sure, I'd say, for Kalamazoo FC, as Colin Innes around it alongside Owen Smith, as Smith taking his steps back, looking like he might be the one to send this into the direction as he's going to swing at one. Somebody on the... It's all tied up here in Kalamazoo's big game. As trailing no more, they're going to even this thing back up 1 apiece. As Kalamazoo FC in front of their home crowd says, just because we go down first doesn't mean we can't answer. And right back in it are the Eagles. What a feed there to Melaragni, as into the back of the net off the use of the head, and we're all tied up 1 apiece. As Kalamazoo FC looking to stay stride for stride on that defense all the way to the sideline. They're going to get this one back, last touched off the foot of Flint City. As a player down there trying to tie his shoe on the field. And we're going to get the whistle back and in action. As the toss in for Kalamazoo FC. Going to stick with it goes Innes. Giving chase goes Phillip. And a dangerous come out and stop it before Melaragni could get to it. As another handball looked for by Kalamazoo FC. Nothing saw him, though. Coming down that sideline really quick goes Donovan Phillip. Is Phillip going to be stuck behind 2 Flint City defenders. Going to get a ball up and over him. This one played into Ennis. Not able to get real good touches on the ball as both these teams. And then right back into Andrew Cook it goes. See, 2 teams all evened up at 1 apiece now, looking to find the one that's going to put them in front of one another. as these conditions coming into play, players slipping up all over the field. It's that one going to be slipped up, as that's Al Rashid getting slipped up there by Innes of Kalamazoo. And now, 21 minutes gone by in this matchup, a free kick coming at the foot of Flint City. So we'll see which way they want to serve this one up. They're going to have Al Rashid and O'Riordan right next to it, conversing which way they want to go. They want to play something long inside the 18 or just play it straight over their team, get a good look offensively. We shall see which way they want to go. Al Rashid going to send this one into the 18, bounce back out and taken care of. Good defense played there by Owen Smith for Kalamazoo FC. Ennis trying to send this one towards the sideline. It's going to go out of bounds again here for Flint City. Another toss in. So they're looking to get it in bounds, and they do. This one going to be from Landon Fisher. Now going around the horn from Pickett. Back up top to Pondeka. Pondeka with it near middle of the field, as he's just going to give it. Looks for Flint City on this attacking possession. Al Rashid, he's going to dump it on down to O'Riordan. And out of bounds, last touch by Kalamazoo FC, so Flint City going to stick with it. 22 approaching the 23rd minute. 1-1's the score here for Kalamazoo FC and Flint City. Both teams tied, as Flint still undefeated, only a 1 tie to their name to go with the 2 wins they have so far in their 24 campaign. Some good defense looking to be played by Kalamazoo FC. Into the 18 it goes. The shot's going to be rung off. Save made by Andrew Cook. As it may have been a different defender getting underneath it, but it looked like Andrew Cook was the one to send that away. Either way, it's going to be a corner kick here for Flint City. So some good defense early on in this matchup to go with a little bit of offense we've seen from both of these teams. Still tied 1-1, approaching that 24th minute, about halfway through this first half. And it has been a barn burner. As what a grab by Cook to come out and make that stop. If he didn't get underneath that one and it popped free, Flint City could have done a lot of nasty things to that one to put it into the back of the net. But what a grab there by Cook. As it's going to be fed right over top of the shoulder to Phillip. Phillip going to turn around. He's got a couple of players he could go on to. A chipped ball to Mercer on that right side, and that's going to be into the back of the net. Put Kalamazoo in front, and now 2 unanswered goals for Kalamazoo FC is going to leave this game 2-1, approaching that 25th minute. And what a feed to Mercer. The right side, an amazing ball played in. And, I mean, Jakub Griziak, nothing right there for the Eagles as we're getting into the later stages of this first half. A 2-1 lead now for Kalamazoo after trailing early in that first goal that was scored by Flint City. As there's a whistle and a player down on the field, it seems like that one, Vera Cruz. It looks like it might take a second for him to get up. With the downtime here in action, we're going to take a minute and we're going to thank our sponsors. as we're back and in action. As Veracruz back up after the slip and play. As these elements, like I said, could come into factor. As here goes another breakaway chance here for Donovan Gusto Phillip. He's going to stick with it. No matter of how many defenders get in front of him, a great ball going to be played in front. Looking there for number 14, Asher Barnes. However, it's going to be bounced out, and Flint City going to stick with it. And then trying to get back underneath it, off the head, and out of bounds. Last touch by Kalamazoo FC. Flint City going to try and stick with it. However, off the toss-in, there's going to be a whistle. I think they're going to make Flint City re-throw this one back in, and it's exactly that. So they're going to try and go right back at it again, and another whistle. So, officials just not ready for these eager teams. I mean, everybody's just trying to keep the momentum and everything flowing in this matchup. It's Flint City now going to switch it over onto that right side. Going to get a hop and a skip out of the soccer ball in that wet grass. This one's going to be played over into that right corner here for Blamma. Blamma, though, going to get this taken away. As Mercer with it, now playing it back into the back line. He's going to play it here for number 26, Hummel. Hummel going to get this one taken away. However, he's going to say it was out of bounds. Dump it into that short corner here, as this is going to be number 19, Brock Pickett with it. Playing something over in the middle, but well taken care of by Kalamazoo FC. So now they're going to give it to Donovan Gusto Phillip. He's going to try and send something left side, giving chase down that left side, defended by Flint City. Goes Kalamazoo. Now they play it to Mercer. Mercer across side. Now it goes into that right side. That was Melangari. Has some shin-to-shin contact. Going to get that one taken away from Kalamazoo FC. But a good slide tackle out of number 27, Veracruz. And Kalamazoo FC going to come back with it. Owen Smith tripped up, loses it. No whistle, though. So they're going to say it was cleanly poked out by Flint City. Al Rashid now. Something over the middle to his fellow Bucks. But that's going to be a slide tackle and a good one out of Matthew Bovain to keep it back with Kalamazoo FC. As Melaragny going to lose this one. Flint City takes over with Al Rashid. Al Rashid going to give it to Fisher. Fisher going to send one down that right sideline. As this one here for Blamma, the lone goal scorer in this matchup for Flint City. They trail it 2-1, trying to get something inside that 18. As slipping up goes Hummel. As the slip up going to be called a push. And Hummel going to get away with one right there. From up here, it looks like he just slipped up on that grass, but the call, nonetheless, Kalamazoo FC going to come back down with it. 29 approaching the 30th minute in this matchup. Well into that long left corner, however, defended with people all over him is Grayson Mercer, and Flint City going to get this one right back as the toss in here for Blamma. As the toss in, going to be last touch by Kalamazoo FC's number 32, Matthew Bovain, as out of bounds and in for a toss, and it goes off Landon Fisher. Fisher looking for Blamma in the middle of the field. Blamma going to get this one poked out. As Fisher going to keep it with his team, and he's going to go over to O'Riordan. Riordan going to lose this one, but not for long, as Jacob Griesiak going to come out of the 18 and send this one deep into the Flint City attacking zone. Al Rashid with it, doing some fancy footwork on that right side. Al Rashid now going to give a spin back with two defenders draped all over him. It's going to be Mercer and Bovain on defense now. A shot that's going to be hung up into the center. And another one ripped off the top, but that's going to be well up and over as a diving Cook attempt there. Really good effort, but over top regardless. And the score stays right where it's at, 2-1 for Kalamazoo FC. After a quick opening goal by Flint City, it's been 2 unanswered straight goals for Kalamazoo FC as they lead this game 2-1. Cook going to send this one well over midfield with that leg. As off ahead of Flint City, and now, as well as Owen Smith, Connor Innes, just trying to take it away from the midfield here in Flint City. 32 minutes gone by, 2-1's the score. Kalamazoo FC looking to hand the first loss to Flint City. Just needing to hang on here in this first half. Go into halftime with that lead and play your style of football. But Blamma going to go right side, looking to feed somebody over the middle, as that shot's going to be well over top. A wide open net chance there for Flint City as they're just going to lose it. And the score's going to stay right where it's at, 2-1. You could say a little bit of luck was on Kalamazoo FC's side right there, as the attempt from Cook was a good one. However, the second chance effort for Flint City unable to capitalize, and what was literally a wide open net just sails it over top. As another ball is going to be sent towards that sideline. Just going to try and get some more dryness underneath one that's been sitting on the sideline. But, I mean, anything that's going to be out here is going to get a little wet the minute it touches that field. I mean, it is a wet one down here in Mayor's Riverfront Park. As Beauvain going to play this back into Cook. Cook's going to switch it up. Instead of playing short, he's going to go way long downfield. Look back farther into Kalamazoo FC's attacking zone. But then Greasiak going to take care of it for Flint City. And now the Bucks on the attack. Crossing midfield. Tripped up it goes. As that one's going to be Asher Barnes tripping up a Great Lakes rival. It's Flint City trying to get around this defense. A whistle, though, is going to come out and stop play here. So a free kick near midfield for Flint City. As we're 34 minutes gone by, still score of 2-1. Kalamazoo leads here at home. Alrighty, after some technical difficulty, we are back up and in action. Still the same one here, Kalamazoo FC trying to get something going. We apologize for all the technical difficulties. The whole computer we had running just crashed and died. So we're back up and we're back and in action. Trying to get the scoreboard put back up onto the top. Still 2-1 though, approaching halftime. 42 minutes, approaching the 43rd. As thank you for sticking through the difficulties with us. My name's Sebastian O'Leary, play-by-play broadcaster for Kalamazoo FC in this 24 campaign. Second year in the action. Underneath them, as Flint City looking for a call on something inside the box, wanting a PK, however, not going to get it. Got to earn the goals. As now, still trying to stick with it and go about it, goes all right, and O'Riordan. Back to Al Rashid. And then back over into Pickett. Pickett trying to get something going. Wide right it goes and out of bounds. As now push comes to shove down on the field. As these two tempers, the two teams' tempers, I should say, starting to heat up as we're getting closer towards the halftime mark. As the scoreboard back up and in action now. Apologize for all the technical difficulties as we are back up, running and in action here for the USL 2. Great Lakes divisional matchup in between Kalamazoo FC and Flint City. As nearing halftime, 2-1's the score. Kalamazoo trailed for a first couple of minutes and then finding two unanswered. As up in the air it goes. Gusto Philip giving chase. However, he's not able to get to it as it runs back to Jakob Griesiak. As he's had a couple of good looks against Griesiak. And we've really had to work for the goals for Kalamazoo FC in this matchup, but a botched pass from Flint City and slipping up down on the field go some defenders for Flint as Ennis going to try and play a ball through to Donovan Phillip. However, once again, the defense of Flint City able to get to it before Gusto Phillips. Near midfield, Flint City trying to find something before the half comes to an end. They're going to send one all the way up into the 18, but Andrew Cook going to hop on top of it and keep it right where it's at still. 2-1 to score. It's a ball from Cook going to hop over everybody and keep rolling into that back left corner. Kalamazoo FC going to try and stick with it. They're going to go to Ennis. Over up to Hummel. Hummel trying to cross sides of the field over there for Barnes and Phillip. However, Barnes going to stick with it. Try and get something pushed now into the 18, then slip up. Looking for a whistle. However, not going to get it. There wasn't too much contact. Just going to the ground was Barnes. But still sticking with it goes Kalamazoo FC. As trying to get a deflection off a defender. Over to Ennis it goes. And then slipping up in a takeaway here for Flint City. Looking to capitalize, and then a whistle comes out. Coach Lyons not happy with it. Wondering where the official saw the contact. However, saw it nonetheless. Got a better angle on the play than we do just watching up here. Around it on the 18. They're going to pass it right back up to Al Rashid. And Al Rashid's going to lose it. And we're going to get a whistle. That's going to send us into halftime as we'll have 15 through the rest of the game. As we've been rolling with the punches here. Mayor's Riverfront Park. 2-1 to score as Kalamazoo leads the defending champs at home. So we'll be back in 15 minutes. Stick around here on the Kalamazoo FC YouTube channel as we'll have the live stream back up and in action here in 15 minutes after the half. 2-1 to score. Kalamazoo leading the Great Lakes defending champs. Testing, testing, 1, 2. And back and in action here at Mayor's Riverfront Park, the location of this matchup between two USL Great Lakes divisional opponents. As backing into halftime, or out of halftime, 2-1 the score as Flint trails the home team Kalamazoo FC. A free kick, though, here at the feet of the Bucks. They're going to lob one into the 18. Mercer going to get a head underneath it as a Jew. Their goalie, Griesiak, has Jakob Griesiak. Just going to play this one right side. Pressure's on, though, from Kalamazoo FC, waiting for the mistakes to be made. Flint City now trying to play something into the 18. And then back out it goes. Dangerously awaiting something in their attacking moments was Flint City. However, just a little bit underneath it. And it's going to reset Kalamazoo and their keeper, Andrew Cook. As Cook's going to look to set something up here with Kalamazoo in success. It's going to show off the strength of that leg. This one, though, got underneath it a little bit. Just going to go a little short of the halfway marker. Then out of bounds. Last touched off the foot of Cook. So here comes a toss in for Flint City. As this one going to come off of Dashin. Is now Flint City going to try and take it around the horn. A shot from up top, but deflected off the head of a defender for Kalamazoo FC. The home team Eagles are the defending champs. As a sliding stop going to be made there by Andrew Cook, coming out and making sure that the dangerous number 12, Barzi Blama, can't get anything past and into the back of the net. Arani is now Ennis trying to get something into the 18. Going to get that poked out, though. Good defense from Flint as it's coming back the other way. Slipping up on the pass goes Dashin. Then Kalamazoo FC just sending it right back over into Griesiak's lane. Flint City going to play a ball into the 18, looking to get it up to one of their attackers. As he's going to fake left, go right, inside, close to that 6 marker, and there's going to be a whistle. As Kalamazoo FC players looking around with their hands up. I believe it's going to be a PK here for Flint City. As now, here's a dangerous chance for them to try and tie this game back up. A big momentum, swinging moment here for either team. If Cook can make the save, momentum's going to swing far onto that Kalamazoo side. But here's a chance, for Flint City to mellow out what Kalamazoo had going in that first half, even things back up, and practically make this game a 0-0 ball game. Over to the right, and now they're fighting in the goal for it, as Dashin going to shove Cook. Not very sportsmanlike. As it's approaching the 50th minute mark, and we're all tied up here 2-2. As push comes to shove in this game, we're all tied up. And now, who's going to be the one to put them ahead of the other once again? First, it was Flint City scoring the very first goal in the first half, then 2 unanswered to get the score up to 2-1. But now, Flint City ties this game up at 2 apiece. And we are all back tied up and in action. Kalamazoo FC trying to play safe soccer. Try and get and expose the gaps in between this Buck defense. Now something inside the 18, driving towards that net it goes. And then poked out by a Buck defender. Gusto Phillip, though, going to hop on it, getting tripped up a little bit, and plays it back into Barnes. Barnes going to go left side, run into a couple of players, still staying on his feet. Everybody's slipping up, though, because it's wet, and then Flint City with the takeaway. Flint City trying to set something up near midfield. He's trying to find the weak side of Kalamazoo. Getting around some defenders, though, and trying to drive towards that 18. There's going to be another whistle. This one going in the favor of Flint City once again. 52 minutes gone by, all tied up at 2 apiece. As officials conversing with players down there on the field. Still waiting for a free kick. As this one's going to go up and in the air. As I think the official's calling a handball inside the 18. If I had to guess, I saw it pop up, but it didn't look like it was a hand that got underneath it. Kalamazoo trying to plead their case, and another big momentum swinging moment here for Flint City. As a yellow card's going to come out here. As that one going to go against number 21, Mike Melarani. And another chance here for Pavel. As this moment bigger than the last. Last one to equalize the game. This one to break it open here for Flint. Flint waiting for their moment. Trying to strike and find something here now into the back of the net. Pavel. As man, oh man, what a lapse there from Kalamazoo FC. As the handball really putting them slow in their tracks. Goals for Flint. It's going to make this one 3-2. As no call there. Kalamazoo FC fans not happy with it, with pushing a jump ball. That one going to be found by Kalamazoo FC. Is that one Verte Cruz? And a good slide from Asher Barnes to get this ball back. As something played over right side for Donovan Phillip. Gusto Phillip using the trickery at the feet. He's going to loft one up in the air in the 18. Kalamazoo FC not able to get on the other side. However, still sticking with it in their offensive half with Barnes over there to Gusto Phillip. Phillip going to play something into Owen Smith. Smith going to get tripped up. And now everybody's hitting the floor. Physical soccer being played. Everybody's slipping and sliding down there on the field. So it looks like as now Jacob Griesiak going to send this one with the leg towards the middle of the field. Smith hopping back down on top of it, though, for Kalamazoo FC. He's going to look over towards Gusto Phillips' way. And then that's going to be sent out of bounds and into the stands. Fans going to get a souvenir. Kalamazoo FC, a couple of substitutions made here as finding their way over to the bench is going to be Mike Malorani and Duarte Ramos. So the ball's going to be played left side. Kalamazoo FC trying to find an opening against this Bucks defense. Getting closer towards that 18-yard mark. So they're going to ring out a shot. That one well above the net, though. Looking for something out a little bit deeper to try and equalize this one back up at 3 apiece. However, sails way over the net. Easy read there for Jacob Griesiak. Kalamazoo FC spoiling the possession there for Flint as a whistle going to come up. Too much aggression right there out of the Buck. Just still got to try and keep it clean while physical at the same time, because the referees, they're going to call it as much as they can. This one's going to be sent over into the visiting stands, though. Kalamazoo FC still going to retain possession. As they're going to toss this one in, and straight to the Bucks it goes. Now the Bucks have a run here, but then slowing up. And Kalamazoo got numbers once again. But here comes Flint City trying to attack something, as this is going to be a diving save made by Kalamazoo's own Andrew Cook. And man, oh man, was that a rocket off the foot of Blamma right there for Kalamazoo FC, or for Flint City, excuse me. As what a save there. Keeping this game right where it's at 3-2. Still a lead, though, for the defending champions of the Great Lakes Division in USL 2 play. As the official's going to say, somebody doing something they didn't like. I think the call was offsides. Just a little too deep towards that goal post it goes. As Nolan Miller going to be checked into this game for Flint City. Number 6 here for the Bucks. As 60 minutes have gone by. Kalamazoo trailing the defending champs 3-2 in what's been a spectacular game so far here at Mayor's Riverfront Park. It's been a wet one, but a good one nonetheless. Asher Barnes going to last touch that one, and it goes out of bounds and hops into a trash can. I mean, you probably might not be able to see it on camera, but right into the trash can it went. What a shot. Out of bounds, though. Owen Smith going to put this one right back into game and quickly go Kalamazoo. And then Kalamazoo just going to send this one right back to Jacob Griesiak and the keeper for Flint. As Griesiak going to hop on it as Pepe Martinez coming up to pressure. "61 minutes gone by. 3-2 is the score in numbers for that second spot. As 2 of them playing right here today. And the third in Ann Arbor. As it's going to be a hard-fought battle all the way through the season for that top spot and finding, or the top 2 spots, I should say, is there's going to be 2 bids given to the Great Lakes Division this year for the playoffs. So people looking for one, is there's an obvious handball played into the 18, and how are they not going to call that? That is quite blasphemous, if I do say myself. A diving attempt there. I could clearly see from here on the hand, as there's going to be a no call. Everybody, hands on top of their head, wondering how they missed it, figured out, and give it a correct call. As we'll see what these 2 officials are going to come up with for their verdict. I mean, that was clear as day, and now they're going to come up and give 2 yellow cards, one to Coach Shane Lyons. And then they're also going to give a yellow card, seems to be to Emmanuel Santos. Which, if I had to say anything about it, I'm in absolute agreement. That is crazy. I don't know how much more clear it could have been. However, got to roll with the punches you're given. You still got time, 30 minutes or so left in this matchup. You're only down 1. You have to find a way to fight back and equalize if you're Kalamazoo FC. We're back and in action. Officials not going to correct their mistake to keep this one where it's at. As moments after the mistakes from the official, almost able to hop back on top of it. It's Kalamazoo FC. Just got to finish on those big capitalizing moments. Your Kalamazoo FC. Got to stick with it, everything through the rough. As Gusto Phillip going to try and get around the defense. He's going to get a ball over into that corner, but it's going to be kicked away from Flint, and that's going to go out of bounds. So a toss in here for Kalamazoo FC, trailing by 1. We'll see what they want to draw up. Owen Smith trying to get this one into the middle. Gusto Phillips with a challenge here, and he's going to get slide tackled in the 18. So here comes the penalty kick that should have been awarded for the handball to try and tie this game back up as they trail by 1 goal, 3-2, as Jakub Griziak, pressure now on the shoulders of the keeper for Flint City. Owen Smith lining up to take this for Kalamazoo FC from the keeper Griziak, as Owen Smith trying to see it in his sights. Gets the whistle, takes his first couple of steps, entering the 18, trying to see which way he wants to go against Griziak. He's going to shoot this one in. It's in the back of the net. We're all tied up at 3 apiece off the PK, and entering the crunch time to 3 after the crucial PK there for Kalamazoo FC. And Coach Shane Lyons telling his guys to put this one back down. Let's get back into it and keep applying pressure. Three to 3, we are all tied up here, 67. Kalamazoo finds their way to get right back into it. And now, here comes Cook, trying to show off that leg and get this one well down the field and give Kalamazoo another chance. There's going to be another whistle, though, as more pushing and shoving coming from Flint City. As one free kick leads to another. This one, though, well on the other side of the field and in the offensive zone for Kalamazoo FC. 67 minutes, approaching the 68. We're all tied up 3 apiece. Trying to find the one that's going to put them ahead. And then there's another yellow card coming out. This one seeming to be like that's going to go up against Al Rashid for Flint City. Here comes Kalamazoo out of the free kick. This one lofted well up into the air. But nobody on the receiving end of it. Last touch by Flint City. It's going to stick with Kalamazoo FC. A toss in here deep inside their offensive zone. This one's going to be played off the inbound. Owen Smith, the fancy footwork, trying to get this one into the 18, but that's going to be popped up. Last touch by Flint City. Now Asher Barnes into the corner. Centering feed. And a good save. 2 good saves right off the back. Oh, my goodness. Flint City, you need to sign that man for life. Wow. Are you kidding me? Jacob Griesiak on his knees saving the game. Wow. Oh, my goodness. What a chance for Kalamazoo FC, but what a save from Griesiak. A couple of them. Here goes another chance, and then sent out by Flint City to give them time to reset. More breathing room. It's Kalamazoo. That fire is lit underneath them right now. 3-3. 69 minutes gone by, approaching the 70th. A lot of time left in this matchup. Either team could find that momentum swinger. As it seems right when someone's able to get out in front of the other team just comes crawling back slowly but surely. As we're all tied up here, 3 apiece. As Kalamazoo looking for another call, not going to get it though. As now both sides had a couple of moments throughout this entire match where you could say the officials may have been able to do better, but officials are still human. Get in it now. But I don't think there's anybody that's more into this game at Mayor's Riverfront Park than Coach St. Lyons down there on the field, trying to get his guys right back in it. Seems as if Coach Lyons is in the game himself. So this one's going to be lofted up into the offensive zone. Gusto Phillip giving chase. That speed. Oh my goodness. The wheels. As the feed to Owen Smith. This one's going to be poked out. Good defensive play there by Flint City. Trying to get this one out. Only for Kalamazoo to keep it right back in their attacking zone. Pepe Martinez with it. He's going to try and spin around using the right foot, trying to give it to somebody. Centering feed here to Owen Smith. And Smith was just trying to find somebody on that left post. An absolute barn burner here at Mayor's Riverfront Park. 20 minutes and whatever's left in extra time is the only thing that's going to be given in this game. As a sliding kick's going to be sent out of bound. As Flint City just trying to regroup right there. Keep themselves ahead of the offense for Kalamazoo FC, because whenever Kalamazoo can get in front of them, it ends up turning real ugly. Kalamazoo just going to play this one back into their goalie. Andrew Cook going to try and send this one, but gets way underneath it and lofts it way up into the air. Then finding the sideline to go out of bounds, and another toss in here. Gusto Phillip crossing the middle of the field. He's got a couple of players he could give to. He's going to try and keep it himself. The goalie's coming out. Contact and collision. Mayhem here at Mayor's Riverfront. Absolute madness going down on the coaches getting into it. Everyone trying to keep themselves out and in front. But with the body down on the field, we're going to take a minute and we are going to thank our sponsors, as we'll be back up when play resumes. As Gusto Phillip back up, and we are resuming play. So Donovan should be sent back in here, as he's just knelt down in front of the subs right now, trying to find a way to get back in this match. As here goes Gusto Phillip back into the game. All even numbers. Flint City going to try and loft one left side. They're going to have a man. Centering feed. Nobody on the receiving end. As once again, another chance deflected. A third shot rung out. Deflected once again and out of bounds. That one's going to be a corner kick. Last touch by Kalamazoo. Good defensive stand there for the Eagles. As here come a couple of different subs for Kalamazoo FC. We're going to have number 12, Gafar. Number 5, Nick Kanina. And number 13, Mathis Gaffroy checking into the game here. As there's a couple of fresh feet here for Kalamazoo, seeing if they can outdo this Flint City team as we're all tied up. 76 minutes gone by. We can get a winner. However, sometimes it's not the case. But these two teams, I mean, obviously trying to find the one, it's going to set them ahead of one another. 6 goals, trying to find the 7th between these two teams. Whoever can find the 7th might just do it and find their squad the win. Short corner, going to be played in and then sent back out by Kalamazoo. Another good defensive stand out of the corner. Players hitting the ground looking for calls. They're not going to get them. A deflection, and that one sent right out of bounds, deflected off. Seemed to be a player. And that one shot is going to be wide right. So another clean slate there for Andrew Cook. He's going to have to try and set his team up with a little bit of success. You can't just be blasting this one towards the middle of the field and giving Flint City the ball right back. You have to try and get your guys' 4th goal for their team. 3-3. We're all tied up here. 78 minutes gone by. So we're just getting closer and closer. As some back and forth calls. Stop this one up a little bit. Gusto Phillip trying to get something into the middle, trying to challenge the goalkeeper for Flint City, but Griziak once again standing tall. Nothing too challenging there for Flint's keeper. As right back into play it goes for Flint City. Trying to set themselves up deep inside their defensive zone. Going to get around Barnes as players are flying all over the field now. This one out of bounds. It's going to go to Kalamazoo FC. Barnes on the inbound, looking there for Phillip. As a couple of bodies hitting the floor. And this one out of bounds. Both these teams not wanting to end in a tie. As both these teams trying to fight for that top spot claimed by Midwest United right now. So a tie is definitely not going to help either of these two teams pretty much at all. You both would get a point, and you live to see another day. However, everybody wants to win in this USL 2 division. Every game matters. Going to be Pondeka to get to it. And now Kalamazoo coming away with it. They're attacking zone. Shot going to be rung off. That one's deflected, and it's going to head out of. In the middle it goes. A chance here for Phillip, and that one's going to be wide left. A couple of good looks that Kalamazoo could have capitalized on their heads. Stress levels here at Mayor's Riverfront Park starting to rise. Left side it goes here for Flint City. They're going to play this one into Alt. Alt going to try and switch it up. He's going to go right side. As a player hitting the floor, and there's going to be a call now. It seems like that card's coming out of the pocket and then put back in, so not sure which way he wants to go, and it does come out actually a little bit closer to me. Getting closer and closer towards that final minute mark. Somebody looking middle. That one's going to be grabbed by Kalamazoo's keeper, Cook. Andrew Cook, a heads-up play, not letting that one fall on the ground, and anybody to get another look at it. As more fans wanting a call but not going to get it. Still sticking around with it goes Kalamazoo FC. Owen Smith, he's going to play something on into the middle. A shot's going to be rung off over the crossbar. Nicking the crossbar, but got to get a little bit underneath it as these chances keep adding up. You wonder which one's going to be the one to find the back of the net. Both these teams, tremendous. Schneider Mimi and number 10, Hugo Tarvis once again rocking out, looking to find his squad. Something at Mayor's Riverfront as everybody's looking for a miracle. Flint City keeping this one inbound, riding down the line, and then it's going to go out. Last one touched by Tarvis. Phillip going to try and switch up sides. However, Flint City going to get underneath it and use the head. Barnes coming down with it, and then he's going to slip up and he's going to lose it to Flint City. Tarvis, he's going to try and set up his teammate. Cook trying to play long ball. Taken away. Breakaway chance here for Kalamazoo, but a good slide tackle to stop up momentum. Once again, Kalamazoo on the breakaway, trying to look over there for Donovan Phillip. And then lost once again. Flint City trying to make something of their own. Tensions getting higher in the stands. Fans starting to chirp. As everything's getting a lot more aggressive down on the field, tensions keep rising. To think it'd be the one to do it, unless somebody can find another quick answer. As Asher Barnes playing some physicality down on the field, as Flint City going to come away with the ball. Then a bad touch is going to lose it to Kalamazoo's defense as a slip up here. He drugged down to the ground. And it seems to be, we'll see who last touched it. I think it might be a corner kick, though, here for Kalamazoo FC because there was a lot of red around that ball. And that's we get closer and closer to that extra time. Somebody's got to find one soon. Nobody wants to walk away with a tie. Both teams in a hunt for the top spot. Time ticking down, second by second. Is this one from Smith's going to be lofted up in the air? Almost finding somebody on the receiving end. Flint, though, going to reset here near middle of the field. As getting closer and closer. Both these teams doing anything and everything they can. Everybody on the field's got to be getting lower into that gas tank. As far left side it goes for Kalamazoo FC. One-on-one over into the left side now. Passed on and in. A ball that's going to be finding the back post. However, Barnes not on the receiving end. And it's going to go. As this shot's going to be sent out of bounds off the foot of Flint City. Trying to see the player's number. He's not turning his back to me. However, still going to be Kalamazoo FC to stick with it. Awaiting the inbound here from Barnes. Now Flint City head coach engaging in conversation with the officials. As you could say, both head coaches not too. And now John back and forth. As a whistle's going to go against Kalamazoo. Too much contact down there on the field. As I mean, these players are just fighting every inch that they can get. Looks at the net and keeping the ball on your side. As one's going into the middle here for Flint City, as it bounces off a couple of defenders, and Cook's going to be able to walk away with it once again. He's going to try and play Barnes over on, try and play this one up towards the middle of the field, giving chase on it. Donovan Gusto Phillip. Flint City, though, going to send this back towards the middle. So they're going to give it here to Alex White. Attacking chance here for Flint into their attacking zone. A handball played once in front of the refs again, but not seen. Playing on, they're going to let them. All into extra time we go. Kalamazoo FC trying to outdo the Great Lakes defending champions. As this has got to be an instant classic. 3-3, all into extra time. You got to think if anybody can find the back of the net one more time, it's going to be the one to do it. Flint City now back in their attacking zone. They're going to give this one to Mimi. Mimi playing against Barnes. Mimi going to send Barnes to the ground and get a whistle. A long ball played off the free kick. And a player hitting the ground. And a yellow card's going to come out of the pocket. As this one going to be given to number 12, Bariz Blama. As here comes another. Smith, the only one around the ball. Kalamazoo resting on his shoulders. Not able to get it there. Going to try and go right back at it. So he gets up, and what a grab by the goalkeeper for Flint City, as that one going to be Jakub Griziak. As official giving a whistle down there on the field. We'll see how they want to play it out. Pepe Martinez talking to the thing that we got. Griziak just going to play this one into his back line. Opportunities starting to dwindle away for both of these two teams. Flint City going to give this one right back to Kalamazoo, and then Kalamazoo gives it back and return the shots. And out of bounds it rolls. Oh my goodness, the 3 whistles going to be rung out, and the tie is going to be the result. As man stood the whole time, I mean, man, oh man, from the minute this game kicked off, it was intense for both these two teams. And man, oh man, it came down to the final possession, and Kalamazoo, or excuse me, it comes down to Kalamazoo's keeper Cook, and it comes down to Griesiak making back-to-back awesome plays for both their teams. Tying is going to be the result that we have, and 1 point is going to be awarded to each of these teams. As I'm going to thank everybody who's stuck around with us for 3 tie for the men's squad. The women's team earlier, a 4-0 win for Kalamazoo FC. My name's Sebastian O'Leary. Thank you for sticking around for these long hours late into the night here at Mayor's Riverfront Park. As the next time we're going to be in action, we'll be back here June 4th against Detroit City FC for the women. And for the men, we'll be back here June 5th against Midwest United, as that's going to be another big game for them. Staying so well, and everybody stay safe from Mayor's Riverfront Park. My name's Sebastian O'Leary. Thank you once again for joining us here on Kalamazoo FC's live stream on the YouTube channel. Stick around, watch some highlights, as we'll be signing off. Everybody take care, stay safe. Thank you once again.